going on, people? We're going to talk about, from one of my subscribers. I won't mention their name yet, but I appreciate the topic, and I'm going to go along with the title of the video is The Educated versus the Intelligent. And I know people have this conversation all the time, you know what I'm saying? Those who have certain discussions, maybe at work or whatever, and it comes to great surprise that they are comparatively different, you know what I'm saying? And this is just my opinion, and what I say about opinions is that they all up for debate, you know, at any given time. So when you're showing this video to somebody, they may say, oh, he's absolutely wrong. But with that being said, listen to what I got to say first, you know. And sometimes you got to do your research and how people feel about the educated versus intelligence. And let me start off like this. Being that everybody's talking about education or intellect, you know what I'm saying? And it's a vast difference between education and intelligence that I got to tell you right off the rip, in my opinion. And both involve knowledge, you know what I'm saying? However, they are fundamentally different concepts. So somebody that's, even if you look it up in the dictionary, intelligence is something that's innate, a natural ability that we all are born with, right? That's something that we're born with. Education, on the other hand, is really what somebody does or has that develops your natural intelligence in different ways. For instance, you got people that's naturally gifted in math. You know, they become mathematicians, natural intellect or natural intelligence, as you call it, or people who are good with instruments, musical intellect. You know what I'm saying? They're naturally good, but you still have to learn. You can mimic a beat, you can mimic drums, you can mimic the piano just by hearing, you know, or just by seeing somebody else do it. You probably can mimic it. That's something that you can do, but you still have to educate yourself on how to be better. You know what I'm saying? That's where education comes in. But that's where it's different as well, because it's a natural ability. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we have to, and the only way to further the intelligence of that ability is to learn. And that's where it comes in, where you have to educate yourself. So, you know, to what degree is being educated mistaken for being intelligent in our society? It's a vast, like I said earlier, it's a vast opinion of others of how that is. So, for instance, if a company hired you, they need you to learn all this stuff. And you're able to learn. Is that part of your intelligence, or is that a part of you being able to learn, which is educating yourself, or them educating you to, you know, prove and hone your skills and abilities? You know what I'm saying? For your overall intelligence. That's something you gotta think about. But when I had got this topic, I had looked up a few people, because I had to think about it to a degree myself. And somebody that's in the history, who is it? Benjamin Banneker. They say the man was a well-noted mathematician and astronomer, but he was also a farmer and a clockmaker, and he was self-taught in science, or a self-taught scientist. You know, in addition, he was the first African-American author an almanac, you know, to author an almanac. You feel me? That's something amazing. Now, was something he was able to do based off pure intelligence? No, he had to improve his intelligence by educating himself, you know. And for some people, that's, you know, for people to grasp the concept that, you know, educating yourself is not just going to school. You know, it's a true lifelong, you know what I'm saying? You have to be a true lifelong learner. I'm sorry. Got my words all scrambled up. You know, there is no end to education. You know, and this education is to improve your intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Education is what people do to you, you know, for you to learn. And how can I say it? And learning is what you do for yourself, something that you have to do. And what you learn is how you learn. If you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hear that. You got to hear that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that. And it's tough to differentiate the two, but I'm trying to make it clear for you. So defining intelligence is one of the most difficult tasks that many people can undertake, because you're discussing this all the time. I promise you, you had this discussion with somebody tomorrow about what being educated is and versus intelligence. It's going to be different. You're going to get the two surely confused, or pretty much surely confused if you don't know the difference or know the how can I say, the small like differences in them. You know what I'm saying? So because education to me is like me using the analogy of a toolbox. You know what I'm saying? It's like a new toolbox, education. You know what I'm saying? It's a product that you buy, or per se that today's society, school pushes on you to pay for. You have to pay for education. So in that sense, it would be a product that you would have to buy to achieve something. And that's like for a better job and better understanding of yourself and the curriculum that you trying to learn about. You know, whatever it is, crime, sociopaths, whatever. That's stuff you do to educate yourself. You know, intelligence, on the other hand, is knowing what's in the toolbox already and how to squeeze every ounce of knowledge you can out of that toolbox to achieve something. Right? Education is great, but if you don't use it, you'll lose it. You know what I'm saying? Or it'll sit, rust off, and corrode and becomes useless. You have to use your education to further your abilities and intelligence, right? And your intelligence usually uses and maintains those tools that you'll always use for the current job and for the next job, right? And that's just what I kind of like could give you real quick about how the two are similar but different. Excuse me, y'all. I mean, in a lot of societies, you know, being educated is what people use or talk about as far as universities and degree levels, and it's seen as one and the same with being intelligent. It's also fair to say, to assume that people who have attained higher qualifications are intelligent. That's what we like to believe. The people that has the education like to believe the same thing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't think about it, you're going to think it's the same thing. I know you do, because I've thought the same thing coming up, learning. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's funny that way. But after all, you know what I'm saying, as far as education is concerned, it's for you to succeed in passing a test. Life is a test, but that doesn't mean it's a part of school. You know what I'm saying? Maybe school of higher knowledge where you have to learn trial and error. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with your intelligence, your intelligent level, your intellectual level, rather, I should say. Excuse me. You know, whether education builds intelligence or whether it's only recognized intelligence is another question. Right? So, what else? So, educated in my sense, in a sense, it's comparative. It's comparative. And what can I say about that? Some people are badly educated, and some people are educated in life by their experiences. And that's a good way to look at things. And that's the same with intelligence. You know, so my final answer on, you know, education and the educated versus intelligent can be up for debate, you know, by a dominant theme of how we view things, you know. And anybody having this discussion is going to know that being educated and being intelligent are completely different concepts. You know what I'm saying? Learn that. Think about it. Just don't take my word for it. Look it up. You know what I'm saying? They're completely different. And shit, they may relate in the same idea of improving oneself in our society, but they operate differently. You know? And education is marked by the ruler that indicates a certain level of achievement. Because myself, I've been to college, I've graduated college, you know, but my thirst for knowledge has not stopped. I'd rather educate myself and increase my knowledge of myself to improve myself, you know. And people will see that as a sign of smarts or a sign of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And that's to improve my social standpoint and like being educated. But education ain't always in the school. It's something that you have to do for you. Self-improvement is always going to come down to how I view things and my opinion based on certain things. And intelligence is being able to utilize it. You know what I'm saying? Utilize the tools to make a difference and implement those differences and ideas and push them on society and push society forward. That's my opinion of what the educated and intelligence brings, right? Well, listen, man, that's my time. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the topics that I've been getting. You know, send me more. I do what I can on them, and hopefully I've answered your questions. But you like, share, subscribe. Y'all be blessed, and I'm out, people. Till the next one.